You know, I often wonder if life would just be easier for me if I tried to become a professional football player. I'm not saying that that wouldn't be challenging in itself, but dedication isn't something that's difficult for me to do. I wouldn't have a problem training and just continuously trying to get into it. It would be easier than being, say, a gamer these days. I'm not saying we're oppressed to any ridiculous level. It's not like if we buy a game that some Chinese authorities are going to come out of nowhere and start beating us up. But when you hear news stories like gaming disorder is officially a mental condition, according to the World Health Organization, you start to think to yourself, maybe it would be just easier if I gave up. Well, I got news for you. I'm not giving up my hobby. I love video games, and that's what I'm going to do. I ordered some new posters and got them in today. I'm going to be putting some posters on the walls back here. You've, of course, seen the Chrono Trigger print, and I have tons of posters in my living room and a bunch of gamer stuff all over the place. I really love video games. So I wanted to go in depth and discuss this article specifically a little bit more so we can talk about video games. But before I get into that, I wanted to make mention of a few things. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Super Geekbox. I have an affiliate code that you can drop down in the description below and check out. They send me a lot of cool stuff. A lot of people wonder where I get my shirts, my threads, sometimes even sunglasses, and my awesome gold chrome fidget spinner. So of course, them, maybe not the fidget spinner part, but nevertheless, I do have them send me boxes, and all I have to do is promote them. So here's your promotion, Super Geek Box, and I really do appreciate you guys sending me these boxes. They're very nice. They don't have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. So if you check them out, I get a small, tiny kickback. It's nothing more than paying for my lunch one day out of an entire month. But nevertheless, it's still nice of them to send the stuff to me. So I'll be busting this open and putting it in as promo later on in a couple other videos as well. But there's also the small matter of me updating my Patreon. For $5, if you go over to my Patreon and donate, you can win one of these bad boys in January. Now, that's starting in January, so you can feel free to pledge now. You don't have to wait until January, but in January, the giveaway will be done at the end of January. And of course, I am giving away a Nintendo Switch, a Nintendo 3DS, and some Pokemon plushies, and I'm doing a Nintendo Switch giveaway each and every month of 2018, indefinite continuing on, as a show of thanks to the people who support me over on YouTube. So there's that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, having said that, unfortunately I'm still fairly ill and fairly sick, so my buttery smooth voice is going to be raspy as a chain smoker. If you missed my episode of What You Missed News, ironic, but still, if you missed it, in a beta draft of the WHO's, that's the World Health Organization, 11th update of the International Classification of Diseases, that's the ICD-11. You can Google all of this and check it yourself. It's important you know how to do that stuff, so make sure to check up on information yourself. It's due out in 2018, and gaming disorder is now included as an affliction. Now, there's one addendum and one note I would like to add to this. Just because America, Japan, and several countries in Europe and Canada, and to some extent several other countries as well, welcome and usher in gaming, people have no problem with gaming from those countries. This is not a problem. This is no big deal for countries like that. Yes, America has problems with SJWs and people saying games are over-sexualized and over-violent and whatever, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that even though we have countries that accept gaming, they say yes, thumbs up, we are not China, who, if you go out and buy a video game in certain locations in China, you get negative points on your social score because they're so locked down. Same with Russia, where certain sections of Russia view gaming very negatively. And many other countries do view gaming very negatively. We view it positively. So what this all culminates to, what I'm saying about this, what it leads up to, is that there might be an ulterior motive for the World Health Organization here to implement something to where these countries that are really against gaming can say, hey, and point to and just say, hey, look at this, man. This is a disorder you have. You want to play video games instead of working 18-hour shifts in a factory. What's wrong with you? You have a disorder. And I'm telling you, I swear there might be an ulterior motive for this to be shoved in as a disorder. I can't say for sure, and this is my subjective opinion at the end of the day, but I have been reading some interesting emails from certain individuals to the WHO to incorporate this in there. Again, I can't say for sure that this is how it happened, but I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Overall, what ended up happening is that, quote, the behavior pattern is of sufficient severity to result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, and other important areas of functioning. This is what the draft is saying, that the gaming behavior and other features are normally evident over a period of at least 12 months in order to diagnose to be assigned, although the required duration may be shortened if all diagnostic requirements are met and the symptoms are severe. Now, are there people out there who are going to be addicted to video games? Absolutely, there's no questioning that. I've seen people sit there and spend money on video games instead of spending money on rent. But I've also seen people who will sit there and watch TV 2 to 4 hours every single night of their lives. And I've seen them do this for 40 years. And then turn around and crap all over video games, saying, what are you doing with your life? All you do is play video games. The ignorant level, it's through the roof. Yet they are the same people who will sit there and watch TV for 2 to 4 hours every day, if not longer. And it's like there's no TV addiction because they'll cut off the TV and they'll go to work. But there are gamers out there are people out there who won't do that. They'll call in sick and play video games all day instead. And that's very, very bad. Would this disorder apply to them? Absolutely not. It's played down because people can be addicted to video games in various different ways. Like being addicted in the way that loot boxes work to where you're gambling, that is not the same addiction as being addicted to video games itself. That would be more inclined to gambling, and video games just happen to be the vessel to allow you to gamble. Being addicted to video games themselves must mean and are applying to not going to work, not seeing your family, not being a father, not doing your duties in life, not paying your taxes, and instead just playing video games. We're not talking about lazy millennials who don't want to get a job, okay? I hate to generalize, but that's exactly what a lot of people will point to this and say, oh, it's those lazy millennials. And that's not necessarily true. I'm not a millennial, so this doesn't really apply to me, but a lot of people will point to young kids who are living with their parents, who are above the age of 18 but still young and don't want to go out and get a job, or rather can't find a job, and all they do is play video games all day. And then it turns into, oh, you must have video game addiction. And then that is a mudslide down, because now we're incorporating religion too, and all those soccer moms, as aforementioned in my What You Missed video talking about this, there's going to be soccer moms out there saying, oh, little Johnny and little Susie, all they want to do is play video games, and oh my God, they must have video game addiction. And once again, I say it, just because your child wants to escape reality and play video games for a little bit, doesn't mean they're addicted to the game. The odds are you're a really bad parent and they don't want to be around you, or you don't play with them, or you don't give them the attention that they need to where they don't want to play video games and instead want to play video games with you or spend time with you. I can't tell you the amount of times I would way rather have played a video game with someone than play by myself, but that's just life, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, in my portion of America, that is life, where sports teams are prioritized over arts, music, just straight up art, all this stuff, sports. So of course video games are looked down as the lowest form of entertainment. It's like, oh my God, you must be a nerd to enjoy that. And now you can slap an addiction to that, which is going to make things 10 times worse. If you are addicted to something, you likely know that you're addicted. It's very rare that I've ever stumbled upon or talked to or been privy to know someone who said that they weren't addicted to a point. They all knew they were addicted. And same with this. You know, if you don't have a job and you'd rather play video games, whether or not you're addicted to video games or you're just being extremely lazy. And that's what this is going to boil down to, because eventually insurance companies might incorporate this in, and it might end up being that you can get benefits and dollars from this. And as I said in my last video too, once again, if you can abuse alcohol and get paid to abuse alcohol and get drunk, who's going to stay sober and go to work and make their own way if they can get the same amount of money? What it boils down to is a lot of people working and mooching the system without question. There are people out there who really need it, but then there are people who don't, and those people who don't need it get food stamps, they get subsidized incomes, they get free housing, free electric, free heat, they get free government phones, free internet. And what ends up happening is that when they're about ready to go out and get a job, their job will pay them the same exact amount that they would be getting, and they would spend it all, and it would equal out to what the government gives them. So then it becomes, what's the point in getting a job if I make the same amount of money? So this doesn't mean they're addicted to video games. It just means, why would they do work if they don't have to do work? A lot of bad stuff is going to come from this, ladies and gentlemen, mark my words, and I hope this video helps some people to understand it and kind of see the light. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and take a rest once again. I'm not fully recovered, but I'm feeling a lot better, even though I sound like a chain smoker, as I said. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a big like. Share it to everyone you know, because a lot of people are going to need to know that this is something that is happening. If you didn't enjoy this video, leave me some constructive criticism on what I can do better to make my channel better in the future. And once again, if you'd like to enter these giveaways over on Patreon, $5. If you want to enter the Nintendo Switch giveaway, all you got to do is be subscribed to me and leave a comment on any random video. Like and share the videos, and you're in like Flynn. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys next time. And probably another What You Missed news or another video like this. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming. God bless, and thank you for watching.